Welcome, I'm Christy, the founder and director of Wellbalance, where it's my goal and my mission to help you connect with your people, grow in your understanding of yourself and your ability to connect genuinely with your people, and to live your fullest life to be contented, and for you to be a happy and contented person because you are living life to the fullest. So this is the fourth video in a stream of 5 that I'm recording around the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence, or EQ as I may refer to it. So in the previous 3 weeks, we've looked at pillar number 1, which is self-awareness, establishing your identity, knowing who you are and being aware of who you are and how you want to interact with the world. Week number 2, self-regulation, being able to articulate and name your emotions and regulate them to serve yourself rather than letting your emotions control you. Week 3, last week, we talked about motivation and how people with a high EQ can remain motivated and achieve their goals despite the wins and struggles of this life blowing you to and fro. You can maintain calm and focused and confidence when you have EQ and when you're being mindful and aware of that and getting your EQ to work for you. You can keep that motivation up. Today, we're going to talk about pillar 4, empathy. Now, this is the point where the rubber hits the road, all those internal resources you've been working on the past few weeks, understanding yourself further internally and learning how to regulate yourself internally. Empathy is where the rubber hits the road, where you're going to put those things into practice, working with other people and connecting with them. So I assume that that's what you want to do, connect with your people, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video. So go you. I'm going to talk about a few things that can help you smash it out and connect with others and really increase your ability to connect and influence with others to achieve your goals for good. The first part of being empathetic is having generosity of heart. Now again, I assume that you do have that generosity of heart, because otherwise you wouldn't be taking the time to watch this video, to think about how you can improve and how you can connect better. So if you want to connect with people, you need to come to those people with a sense that you want to be generous, you've got something to give. You're not just all about take, and what's my return on investment, and that's the only thing I'm in life for. You've realized that you have something to give, and you want to give and you want to serve others, and you want to serve your community or serve your team by leading them in the best way you can. Whatever it might be, you want to come to those people with a generosity of heart, where you want to serve, you actually care about them, you care about their well-being, and you want to hear from them, and you want to help start to understand where they're at. Because when you understand where your people are at, that's when you can connect with them and kick some real goals in relationship. Listen. There's so much that I could say about listening. You could listen to probably 100,000 YouTube clips about listening and listening skills and the things that get in the way of us listening. It's just really important point to emphasize that you can't connect with people until you know where they're at. And you can't know where they're at unless you listen to them. You need to listen and observe and put off all your own ideas and assumptions, and really find out where someone is by listening to them and being with them and waiting and expecting to hear from them. So it's really important not to talk too much, to ask questions of your people, whether it's your colleagues, your team, your partner, your family. Ask them how they are, listen for a response, ask them about a particular project that they might be working on, or a goal that you know they've set, or if you've picked up because you're listening or aware that they've walked in with their shoulders slumped today and they don't seem themselves. Ask them what's really going on with a genuine heart, a genuine spirit, and be prepared to listen. Don't assume, don't think that you might know the answer. Be prepared to listen to them, to find out where they're at, and to really meet them with where they're at. Because if you don't take the time to do that, people are going to sniff it out and smell your insincerity. They're going to know that you're not really genuine, you don't really care, you're not really listening, you think you already know it all, and there's no point in their minds of really bothering to engage with you. So listen to people, be prepared to zip it, ask them and really hear what it is they're saying to you about where they're at. The absence of assumption in terms of understanding versus appreciating. So if you were going to assume, if Johnny's walked in today and you're going to assume that you know what that's about, are you going to listen and meet him where he's at, or are you just going to assume that you understand where he's at? All right. The absence of assumption means that you don't always know, because you don't. None of us do. Even though you may have a good idea, it's always worth asking, or even if you don't want to ask the person, just knowing that actually your assumption may not be right. There could be something else going on. There could be something that you're not aware of. You are not living in this person's shoes. You are not living in their life. You can't have a full understanding of everything that's going on for them. So be careful of assuming. Always assume that you don't know. Always assume that you don't understand. And to emphasize that point of understanding versus appreciating, a lot of people say that empathy is getting a full understanding of someone, coming alongside them and really understanding where they're at. Well, you can do that to a certain degree, but there's always going to be an element of not understanding. You can't possibly understand what it's like to live in someone else's shoes completely. It's just not possible. So that's where, if you go into these situations and if you're improving your emotional intelligence, you can swap that word, or when you think of understanding, make sure that triggers a word for you of appreciating. You mightn't understand a person's situation fully and wholeheartedly, but you can appreciate that that person might be in a hard spot right now. You don't say, oh, I know how you feel. That's the worst cliche catch phrase that anyone can say. Please don't ever say that to anyone. I know how you feel, because no, you don't. You don't understand, but you can appreciate. Oh, I don't know how you feel, Johnny, but I can appreciate that you must not be feeling great now. Can you tell me a bit about it? Or how can I support you through this? Or what's been going on for you? You don't fully understand, but you can make all attempts at appreciating it, okay? And people, when you come alongside people like this with true empathy, people pick it up. They smell your sincerity and they will respond to that. So empathy is like, and really appreciating someone, rather than having sympathy for them or thinking that you understand them, which is a bit like coming over the top of them and saying, oh, poor Johnny, now. It's a very condescending approach. It can come across as condescending from the person that you're giving your sympathy to, rather than giving your sympathy to people and making them feel patronized at times, which is a likely response that people can feel when you are coming over the top of them like that. When you're coming alongside, it's a really respectful way and a respectful mentality that you're coming with them with, saying, I don't understand you fully, Johnny, but I want to, and I appreciate that there's stuff going on for you now. I don't know what it is, but I want to appreciate it more, and I want to understand you more. Can you help me learn about you? Can you teach me about you? Can you teach me about what's going on for you, so that ultimately I can understand you better? I'll never fully understand you, but I can understand you better, and I can appreciate where it is that you're at. Because when I appreciate where you're at, we can work together better. We can achieve the goals because I know where you're at. You know where I'm at. We're communicating clearly and transparently and honestly, and we can really get alongside each other. And Johnny's not going to feel that bosses come in and completely disempowered him and assumed that boss knows best, and Johnny's going to feel much more, he's probably going to get a boost. If Johnny's feeling sad and depressed and got some struggles in life, just coming alongside with that empathy is going to give him a boost for the day. Not only that, you're really connecting with him on a genuine level and improving the likelihood of positive outcomes in your relationship in the future. So empathy as opposed to sympathy, and appreciation as opposed to assuming that you understand. That's the concept that I want you to take out of that point. And all of that's relevant because, well, when you connect with your people, you can really harness that power that you have, power to bring them up and draw them out, rather than using your personal power to quash them or push them down or let them know that you're boss and you've got it all under control. You can harness your power to empathize and lift people up, empower them to achieve results that they previously would not have achieved, their personal best. You can show your belief in them. I believe you can do it, Johnny. I understand that you're not in a great place now, and I appreciate that I don't fully get it, but I care about you and I want to help you. What supports can we put in place to draw you up and bring you out of this? How can I support you because I care about you? Those sorts of things. If you're doing that in your relationships, if you're aware of those key mentalities that you can have when you approach your people, you're going to have success with them. They're going to know that you're genuine. They're going to know that you're sincere. They know that you care about them and you want the best for them, that you respect them, and your outcomes are going to be good. So that's to surmise this fourth pillar of empathy. I could go on about it for a lot longer, but I won't. If you have any further questions or want any further training or any further clarification, feel free to give me a contact. Make some comments below or get on the link to my website and contact me. Feel free. And as usual, if there's anything helpful in here that you would like to share with someone who will appreciate it, feel free to share. Until then, next week we'll be working on talking about pillar number 5, which is your social skills. So bringing all this together and really being able to influence people and using your social skills for good. That's the 5th pillar. Until then, next week, go out there, connect with your people, grow in your ability to connect with them and your understanding of yourself, and live your best, fullest life. Thanks for listening.